Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the primetime newscast in the English language on Canal International. I'm called Morinzi at Top Stories. Some members of parliament today strongly questioned the effectiveness of the reconstruction plan of Paul Tassong in the midst of the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. And the town of Boya has recently witnessed a series of explosions from locally made bombs, and so taxi drivers have been carried out of their daily activities, but with the fear and struggling to set up security measures so as to remain safe in the crisis-hit southwest region of Cameroon. And Douala Sea dwellers are being schooled on how to obtain land, respect of regulations, and avoid being defrauded. Those were major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. The town of Boya has recently witnessed a series of explosions from locally made bombs, so taxi drivers who have been carrying out their daily activities are doing so in fear and are also struggling to set up security measures so as to remain safe in the crisis-hit southwest region of Cameroon. Ines Ondoanbala has the rest of that story.
The city of Boya in the southwest region has for the past weeks recorded a high rate of bomb explosions. A total of 3 improvised explosive devices recently occurred respectively at the checkpoint and Muliko vicinities, with one of the attacks perpetrated in Anfi 600 of the University of Boya. The situation, which has caused panic amongst taxi drivers and students who are the main target, is a call for more vigilance.
As concerned the recent bombings of taxis in the town of or the Boya municipality, we have been advising our drivers to be very careful because first, we are our own security. First security is ourselves. The second, the government will provide security officers, which they have done. But they cannot be everywhere all the time. So we have been calling on meetings before even the bombings to advise drivers on how to undertake their daily activities, which involve transporting persons from one place to another.
The drivers on the highway within the town are also charged that they may take appropriate measures so that such things don't happen. When the person is coming on board, you must look at the person, what the person is carrying, not just about money, but about the security of others, because the person coming on board is coming to meet others inside that same vehicle.
Taxi drivers in Boya told this reporter that they have put in place measures to reinforce their personal security. Picking passengers along the street has now become a strict and selected exercise as passengers with luggages, and those with suspected look are avoided.
The recent bombings, we told drivers that when you are carrying a passenger who is by the roadside, you have to be very careful. Make sure you check the contents of the passenger's bag before the passenger even enters into your car. And since these bombings usually occur during the early morning hours, we have advised drivers to wait until when places are really done before they can start with their daily activities. But those who are working overnight, they have to be very careful. When they want to carry somebody, they have to inspect the person very well.
And when you park your vehicle, we believe all the glasses are supposed to be up. And when you come again to enter your vehicle, don't just enter, keep the vehicle and be going. Check the front seat, check the back seat, check the boot. One can never tell.
In areas like markets, nightclubs, snack bars, parks, which harbors crowd, population have remained vigilant while going about their various activities.
The community of Yokaduma has suffered enormous damages following a heavy downpour in the night of November 22, breaking November 23, 2021. The inhabitants of that parts of the country are in dismay and could not engage in their usual activities. Today, more in the following story with our student journalist William Fru.
The heavy downpour in the town of Yokaduma, situated in the east region of Cameroon, wreaked havoc. The severe damages observed, notably the collapse of trees and the destruction of rooftops, including that of schools, can attest of the degree of rainfall. At about 8 a.m. yesterday, Yokaduma witnessed heavy rainfall accompanied with thunderstorm. We registered numerous damages, amongst which the destruction of the bilingual high school. The subdivisional officer has programmed a meeting to seek solutions. The population of Yokaduma also witnessed road blockage and power shortage as a result of the heavy downpour, which led to the collapse of trees, electric poles and houses. The subdivisional officer was at the scene to take stock of the damages. I came this morning with my collaborators to take note of the casualties caused by the disaster yesterday. Many houses have been destroyed, roofs taken off, with 3 newly constructed departments of the bilingual high school, constructed by the Parents and Teachers Association, completely shut. Fortunately, no loss of lives was registered, and arrangements are being done to remedy the situation, as some students will have to stay home waiting for temporary classrooms.
From the east region of Cameroon, we take you to the south region, where the lifeless body of a 60-year-old man was discovered in an advanced state of decomposition. The body was handed over to the hygiene services of Ebolowo for immediate burial. More with Salish.
The population of the Hausa quarter in Sangmelima, in the south region of Cameroon, experienced a morning full of sadness following the discovery of a body of Sylvain Dikunu, who is said to be about 60 years old. He originated from the northern part of Cameroon and was married with children and grandchildren. Like any other hustler, he traveled to the south region in search of greener pasture. He was very social, and his work was to help people get water in houses. You could plead him with even 100 francs, and he will help you with your domestic chores. He was discovered in the morning, screaming in pain, before dying out for good due to loneliness. Report says he was a social person, as his work was to offer domestic services. Reasons for the lamentations of housewives who had benefited from his services.
Sur ordre de Monsieur le procureur de la République, nous allons procéder purement et simplement à l'inhumation de ce corps abandonné.
The divisional officer, health personnel, police and firefighters were at the scene and identified that there was no injury on the corpse. The body has been handed to the hygiene services of the Sangmelima City Council for burial.
Stakeholders of public contracts have this November 23 reviewed the course of exhibiting their projects in different ministries. The drive expert says aimed at bringing contractors on a single path, bridge setbacks and promote efficiency. As we hear the following story with Hyacinth Shah.
Extending the appropriation of the new framework of the public procurement system for the attention of public ministries is the objective of this national workshop. Presiding over the opening ceremony this November 23rd in Yaoundé, the minister delegate at the presidency in charge of public contracts, Ibrahim Talba Mala, reiterated the need for stakeholders to master the new code.
The main purpose of this seminar is to have the same comprehension of the code and to explain to those who did not interpret in good way the sentences and the provisions of the code.
The need to harmonize actions, binding with the written text and ensuring the improvement of results on different ministerial projects.
Whose delay, you don't want to lose money, because when you don't work like it is written in the code, you lose money and it is not good for the benefit of the population. That's why the prestation that we are like stakeholders and other things, they can do the same thing in the entire nation.
This is also in line with resolving the numerous irregularities that characterize the public contracts and contractors in Cameroon, creating mechanisms to check the excesses and follow up on deadline delivery.
Being defrauded, they have been meeting urban development experts here in the city of Douala, the framework of the first edition of the Douala Urbanization Day that was officially launched today. More in the following story with Gladys Ambo Tibang.
Sustainable urban development remains complex, especially in a city like Douala, characterized by haphazard construction of houses, squatter settlements, and land grabbing. All these partly blamed on the population's ignorance. The Douala Urbanization Days, which is in its first edition and officially launched this November 23rd, 2021, is an opportunity for the population to understand the procedures of land obtention through the single window services of the Douala City Council and the regulations indicated in the land use plan.
Our aim is to bring more information to all inhabitants of Douala. It is important that people knows which regulations we have. That is the only way to promote a safe way of life in Douala and to promote safe constructions.
For 3 days, the population will be chanced to meet urban planners, surveyors, architects, and other urban development stakeholders to have ample knowledge on how to prevent the recurrent collapse of houses in Douala.
Just during this year, many buildings which collapse. And this is a sign that many people didn't respect this regulation. And it is therefore important to bring information to people, experts, what they have to do when they envisage to build their home or a building.
The Douala Urbanization Days is taking place on the theme, buy land, don't be the next scam victim, know the procedures for land obtention and the regulations.
For years now, the respect and practice of human rights in public services has been a total sham. This has forced National Commission of Human Rights to begin training staff of governors' offices across Cameroon with the objective of instilling human rights culture. 71 human rights focal points have been installed or have been appointed by different ministries, as we hear in the following story.
Although the government took stated human rights abuses, it did not do so systematically and rarely makes the proceedings public. Some offenders continued to act with impunity.
Promotion of human rights is the bedrock to human rights culture, and we want Cameroonians, be they authorities, civil servants, government agents, or simple citizens, to understand and accept this principle of human rights.
The public service would entail that whatever is being done by way of giving service to the public takes into perspective the idea of preserving the rights of the...
In the public service, human rights is not still fully embraced by all.
Let them understand the three mandates of the Cameroon Human Rights Commission, mainly the promotion, protection of human rights, and the prevention of torture in places of detention.
The interactive talk on human rights, November 23, with the staff of the governor's office here in the Littoral, is aimed at strengthening collaboration between the Cameroon Human Rights Commission and the governor's office.
International law, the state has the sole mandate to respect these conventions and these laws.
The workshop targets 30 participants at the governor's office, and regional delegation seeks to better monitor activities to promote, protect and prevent torture by working in partnership with public and private administrators through focal points.
Just from here, we'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.